On this week's episode, we talk about the war and how it affects your safe haven assets from Bitcoin and gold. We also talk about the Epstein client list and how it led to arrests and resignations of some of the top figures. We also talk about the Anthropic saga with the Pentagon and its final offer to drop the safeguards, while OpenAI has surged when it comes to uninstalls. Finally, we lead to the trading competition and talk about how markets have not responded the way that we thought they would. But stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Hamana, 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 hamana. I don't know what hamana means, but I just think it sounds professional.
I hope you leave that in the final cut. Welcome to the NFA podcast, your weekly podcast where we give you all the news and market insights on what's going on in the emerging technology space and the rest of the world so that you don't make financial decisions through us, but you just have all the information. NFA does stand for not financial advice. It also stands for niche frackers and you guys that are listening. This week, we are not in our usual setup, as you can tell, because we have been affected by the Iran-US war. So here we are. So ignore the background. We still have all this cool information to give you. And if you're listening in, then no difference to you.
Except the sound will be a little bit worse than normally because we're not in our regular recording environments. Again, so we're using AirPods and our Macs. That's all we have right now. We're suffering. You know, it's funny. This stuff costs thousands, this technology. And we're like, oh, we're suffering with our MacBook Pros and our AirPods that are like $300. The hardship
Not
we
the
endure. I don't have my ring light. I don't have my studio. Where are my engineers? So yes, normally I would be on Bali, back home, or in Singapore, my regular commute. And Nish would be in the UAE, and Nish is right now outside the UAE. Did a desert trek, relaxing. Oman is how far drive from, let's say, Dubai, where you live?
Well, from Dubai to Muscat, actually, Al Ain to Muscat was 5 hours. I think it's about 6.5 hours if you drive from Dubai into Muscat. So it's not too bad. However, if you're not familiar on what's going on, I don't know how you'd not be. But there is an ongoing war in the Middle East, and therefore the UAE airspace was closed, and there's a lot going on. But we'll dive into that in this episode.
Yeah, we'll start with that because so the reason why we're here, this was my segue into the news, is that I'm in Amsterdam. I was going to be here for a week. Looks like I'll be here for almost 3 weeks because my flight back through the UAE, where our company Tracer, where Nish and I are both advisors, is based. So I was going to do stop over there and work and stuff, but obviously that flight got canceled because of the situation. So instead of having a nice stopover in Abu Dhabi, which I was really looking forward to because I did on the way out, it was wonderful. On the way back to Asia, I got stuck in Amsterdam. So I'm in a hotel room in Amsterdam, but I'm not complaining because I'm safe and that's my hometown where I'm from. So I'm seeing a lot of friends, some of them even twice, a lot of family members. Some of them even enjoy seeing me. So they're good actors. They're good actors. But it's been a really strange time, of course, because although everyone saw this coming, there was only one professor, you said, that really saw it coming. So talk to me about that.
2 years ago. 2 years before Trump even got elected, he had put out a video. And basically, this professor has been right about every prediction. Trump getting into office, Trump starting a war with Iran, the Venezuela takeover.
Oh, wow.
He did predict that the U.S. would lose the war. But I mean, it's too early to tell if he's correct on that. However, given his track record, I mean, let's see what happens. I will say though that the tension with Iran and the US has been bubbling for about 20 years. So it's not anything new. Those that do follow, I guess, geopolitical tensions, especially in the Middle East, a lot of them saw this coming.
Yeah, but I'm not happy that his predictions all came true. And his last prediction was that the US would lose the war because obviously I'm on Team West and Team UAE. And I'm actually on Team People. I'd love... Yeah, I think we all love for the Iranian people to be free from oppression and, women have equal rights and gay people have rights and just I'm just happy.
That just people have the
Yeah,
rights to live. I
exactly. And
like
then
that.
and the right to vote would be nice as well. So I just, when I was sitting in Abu Dhabi last week, I was looking over and I really thought, oh, from this place, on a clear day, you can actually see Iran almost, right? It's so close. And yeah, and then obviously, I didn't expect that this would escalate so quickly. So let's all just hope that it gets out of the way, gets overdone and done with quickly without, casualties. But clearly, you are living in a very unfortunate place, living on a palm in
Yes.
Dubai.
Yeah.
And
I think, the UAE government has done a fantastic job in, like, really defending the city against all the missiles. They're actually doing it so that the missiles fall into the water, so that there's minimal damage. Because obviously every time you intercept it, the debris and the shrapnel does fall. But there's like we're a country of 10 million people, and there have been 68 minor injuries and 3 fatalities. And
well,
the UAE
and a lot of
has
yeah.
yeah,
Go
the
ahead. No,
UAE intercepted over 1,000 drones and missiles in the last 4 days.
yeah, it's been amazing. I didn't know the air defense was so good, so I was really thrilled to see that.
Yeah.
Now, the real casualties so far in the UAE has been Dutch influencers that are on vacation there, taking videos while lying on sunbeds and then shooting up to the sky, going, "Oh, look, it's like fireworks! It's like fireworks!" And
It
then
is yeah.
the wife of one popular Dutch influencer with 1 million followers, she's sitting in the car. And she says to her husband, I think, or her boyfriend, whatever it is, her partner, "Oh, I just asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT officially says it's not a war." And it's one of my favorite lines of the year that she will ask ChatGPT for news, information, and official statements by ChatGPT. I don't think she understands she's talking to a large language model that was fed primarily with data that's 2 years old. So, but I love the fact that she says ChatGPT have officially declared it's not a war. So she was like happy, let's go to the restaurant now. Because ChatGPT has declared it's not a war.
I'm
It's one of
so
my favorites.
bemused by the ignorance of people during times like this. I think that during crises, you really see how educated the population is. And, this has been really
Yeah.
surprising. I don't mean this in any like a diss. I don't mean this to offend
Oh, I
anyone,
do. I
but
do. Yeah, I want
generally,
to offend them.
I am I don't have the I'm flabbergasted at the way that people are getting their information about the Iran war that's going on. I
Why
am
would you go to
so sur
ChatGPT to ask information about a current event? I mean, I
I'm so
don't even.
surprised. I mean, the lack of proper news sources. You're following these influencers. There's this video going around about these jets that are apparently the U.S. leaving the UAE. I live on the Palm. That was last month. There was an air show at Burj Al Arab. They were crossing over my house, and there's in the back of the video you can see the UAE flag in the back. If you look closely, it's black smoke, but underneath there's strips of red and green. The UAE flag has black in it. Just the lack of information is so frustrating to see. Because obviously now my family in the US is looking at that and they're like, oh my God, the US has left. Are you guys okay? And I'm like, no, guys, that was an air show last month. But again, I don't even think that the people sharing it understand the geography, because why would US fighter jets fly towards Iran?
Hmm.
It-
All right. So the interesting thing I do have from a technological perspective that has been worrying me. I think we spoke about it a few months ago, actually, about which I think is a fantastic entrepreneur, Palmer Luckey, who started one of the basically the main VR company that he sold Oculus to
Mhm.
Facebook for a few billion. But Palmer Luckey started a defense company and a drone company specifically. I'll link to it in the show notes. And he did this years ago. So imagine leaving Meta when you're in the social media space and suddenly you go like, I'm going to work on defense tech. And everything he said in interviews, and I've read up a lot on him in the last years, been really following him. It's in Long Beach, California. He was the one that said that drones are basically an asymmetrical weapon. And what he meant with that, Palmer says, drones are so cheap to produce now. So like the ones that Iran uses are like 50,000 bucks at most. Sky News made a thing about it. Whereas to intercept them, it easily can cost an intercept. It can cost up to 500,000, so 10 times as much. it's an amazing situation we're in, where we're actually seeing technology used, and this is the topic of our show, um, at the highest level for life and death, but also seeing how the economics of war have changed, and you can really change a war now with $50,000 per missile. And of
Yeah.
course, that's new.
Really, if you think about it, Iran has had 20 years of preparation for this war. They have been a
Yeah.
sanctioned nation for 20 years now. And so you're looking at 20 years of getting ready for this. Um,
Yep.
however,
Unfortunately.
and of course, they understand the U.S. missile technology. They understand the U.S. attack systems because they
Yep.
have been in this situation for so long. So it'll be really interesting to see how all this unfolds. I do hope that it all ends soon. Being personally very affected by all of this, I am hoping that
Yeah.
this comes to an end and we can all go back to our normal lives and I don't have to sit here in a hotel in Oman for much longer.
Well, I'm gonna fly back. Of course, I wish you this, all the health, happiness, love, and success. Except for your trading competition portfolio, which I hope will go down the drain. But other than that, wish you love.
Now that the UAE has opened up corridors for flights, they're escorting these planes out with 2 fighter jets. So they fly from Dubai, and
Hmm.
once they pass the Muscat airspace, that's when the fighter jets return back to Dubai. That's why there's so few flights taking off from Dubai, but they are leaving and they're personally making sure that everyone's okay, which I think again is a phenomenal job on the UAE's part.
So the news. Other than that, what news do you have? You start.
So, last week was big. Now, we've been following the Epstein list quite closely, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time the Epstein list starts to bubble up is when Trump has attacked Iran, and this time, there's a
I don't
lot of
remember what the
conspiracy.
Epstein list was. What was this again? I mean, I forgot because of the war in Iran. It just completely escaped me. Hmm.
Seriously, like
Hmm.
I don't know why. Either way, this seems to have a pattern.
Yeah.
Now the Epstein list has caused a lot of people to resign. So as of the first week, we have the leader of the World Economic Forum, Goldman Sachs, Hyatt Hotels, DP World, which is the largest port in the world, by the way, it's Dubai ports. All of them have stepped down. Uh, Peter Mandelson from the UK House of Lords and Labour Party, Prince Andrew, they were arrested. Peter Attia from CBS News resigned. Richard Axel resigned. I mean, there's so many different people that are resigning because of their relations to Jeffrey Epstein. It makes you think, all these people have got to a certain level because of these connections that they have formed, like Epstein, and you're not entirely sure how Epstein has helped their careers, but it's definitely something there on being where they are. And imagine now they've had to resign because of this, and it's nice to know that. Did you see what the CEO of Hermes said about Epstein and like his
Brilliant.
email exchange?
I shared something on Instagram, a great report I saw that I reposted about how he refused to engage with Epstein for years as
He
Epstein was
did.
trying to engage with him, right?
Yeah, he refused to engage with Epstein. Epstein even donated. This
Yeah.
is about Axel Dumas, and
Yeah.
basically he tried to forge a relationship with him. Axel declined, emailing him saying, "No, I don't want any association with you." Epstein donated to his charity, and Axel returned the money to Epstein, and even went back and said, and
Yeah.
sorry. He
Paid it
returned the
himself, I
money
think,
back
right?
to Epstein
Yeah.
and then donated the same amount to that charity.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, it's nice that somebody comes out well from this. Like Axel Dumas, like props to you, props to MS. MS needs our help, people. Let's all support MS. They need stay strong, MS. No, no, it's
We love
just a
the
brand.
best.
We love MS. Who doesn't? You know. It's just funny because you said something a few months ago about the Hermes bags. I don't know if you remember that, but
What, that
Hermes
they're
was
used for
discussed
money
on the pod.
laundering?
Yes, and that there were like some footage about how they were made, and like the margin on Hermes bags. I don't know if you remember
No, that
that,
was
but
Dior.
oh, that was Dior.
Yeah,
Sure, it was just people
it
go
it
back.
really was.
It was Dior. Hermes would never do that. They have it's low
Hermes
margin
probably does
bags.
it too.
Hermes, no, it's low margin bags. These people are helping all. No, but credit to him because I do think it's great that somebody comes out positive from it, and we should highlight it
Brand
as well. I
aside,
fully agree.
brand aside, it's about the person, right? And we've seen it.
Well,
The way that leaders lead the company, it really
yeah.
instills cultural values within that company. And so it's just nice to know that we still have leaders of these multi-billion dollar corporations that are just doing the right thing. Because a lot of people think that, oh, when you make money, you kind of lose yourself. And basically what this does is kind of prove those people wrong, even though that's only one case.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
Anthropic, they rejected the Pentagon's final offer to drop safeguards, and basically the Pentagon wanted to use their information, for American defense and to spy on people essentially. Now, when Anthropic said no, Sam Altman went ahead and signed a deal with the Department of Justice. Sorry, the Department of Defense, which
Department of
basically,
War, it's now called.
yes, the Department of War. And a lot of people didn't like that. They saw it as being very opportunistic. They also didn't like that their privacy was now no longer their privacy, which takes me back to a couple episodes when I said that privacy is going to be the next big meta. And I agree that privacy is going to be the next big thing here. Anyway, Anthropic rejected the offer. ChatGPT uninstalls surged 295% day over day on Saturday.
I'm wondering how many people uninstall, to be honest with you, on a regular day. Like, I wonder what this comes down to. Who uninstalls ChatGPT? It's very difficult, I think. I mean, seriously.
I
Once you have it,
switched.
it's hard.
I switched because I had a very easy transition. So Claude came out. It was like a no-brainer replacement. It actually can restore your data from ChatGPT. It now has memory and is fully free. So it can store your chats for free. It doesn't
Whereas,
charge.
whereas on ChatGPT, you got to pay $21, right? Yeah. So the two
Yeah.
things that I noticed that Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, said, he refuses to allow Claude to be used for mass surveillance of civilians. And second, he refuses to allow for autonomous weapons use with Claude because AI is not ready for it. Those are the two reasons why he didn't want to sign the deal with the Department of War, as it's now been called by Trump and Hexit. And there's a lot um, to say for Anthropic's position because clearly, if you think, or if anyone thinks, not you, but if anyone thinks AI is ready for to command autonomous use of weapons, I think you haven't used AI enough.
Yeah,
I keep saying it's 90% correct, which I think for weapons of mass destruction or any kind of weapons, that's that fault ratio is too high. So I think it's credits to Anthropic for doing that, and now they're on the blacklist of the UN government, U.S. government.
they are.
So,
That's a big
but
mistake on I think Trump always has this idea that he can just bulldoze his way through everyone, and quite frankly you can't. You just can't.
in this case, we'll see how it pans out. It's sad that, of course, that OpenAI jumped at the chance to replace Claude and Anthropic. But what are you going to do?
Indeed.
I thought what the weird part was on my side is I noticed there was only like negative tech news the last couple of weeks, and it started
Yeah.
really small. This was like the culmination last Saturday, right, when this happened with Anthropic and OpenAI. Anyway, this guy turned out somehow mistakenly hacked into 7,000 DJI robot vacuums. Why is that scary? Because they're in people's homes. And we talked about ring cameras and doorbell cameras a few weeks ago. These things are in your home. Meta's sort of lead wants to use a moment when Trump starts a war. That's literally what lead. Meta wants to use it from an internal memo, was to use that moment to introduce facial recognitions to Meta glasses. So they're going to do a horribly privacy infringement at a moment that Trump is doing something here, attack a country. And
Distraction.
then It's total distraction, and use that distraction to introduce facial recognition in their Meta AR glasses, which I think is one of the worst things ever. It means there's no more privacy. If everybody starts wearing these stupid glasses and has facial recognition, I think it's horrible for women. You will have the worst kind of stalking. I think people have no idea how freaks will use that technology. So that was the
I'm telling you,
second.
privacy is the next big play. That's
It's
it.
scary, yeah. And then, of course,
Mhm.
the worst part is that came after that is this whole funding round that OpenAI announced, which I still think is horrible because it turns out it's buttery soft, as the Dutch word is. He basically announced, Sam Altman, I raised 110 billion. And then O'Malley, the journalist, former journalist, now VC, started looking at these commitments. Nowhere does any company say, I'm committing this amount and it adds to 110 billion.
So this was quite interesting because I did read a headline, and this kind of overlaps our news and market segments. But there was a headline that said Bitcoin is finally living up to its digital gold label, um, and this was interesting because before this war started, when all the rumors were going around and the tensions were bubbling, I sold my crypto, my personal assets, and the reason being is that
Did you call
usually
your friend? Did you call your friend? That would
no,
be me.
no. I didn't call anyone because I don't give financial advice. But this is why. So now in the past, every time that there's been any war, people take their crypto, they sell it and move it into safe haven assets such as gold.
Uh-huh.
And uh, gold skyrockets, Bitcoin plummets, and that's the usual
Yeah,
routine
it's happened
of
for
these
years,
charts
right? Yeah.
for years. So this is the first time that Bitcoin basically initially it plummeted 8% after the Iranian supreme leader was assassinated, which is consistent. But then all of a sudden it was right back to normal. And meanwhile, gold took a hit. So just to recap like the 17-year history, in 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, it dropped 8%. In April 2024, it fell 7% when Iran attacked Israel.
Okay.
And gold in both occasions soared.
Uh-huh.
Now we've seen the opposite. And so it's just so interesting to see the market flip sentiment when it comes to cryptocurrency. I just feel like now crypto is no longer, Bitcoin is no longer seen as a volatile asset. It's now has a bit more stability to it. It's just
Uh-huh.
so interesting to see it be used as a safe haven asset for the first time. So I do wonder what this means for the charts going forward. But you would expect in times of economic uncertainty, with the U.S. being involved in a full-blown war, plus the petrodollar at risk and the destabilization of a lot of heavy nations. Um, I'm surprised to see that the fear and greed index has jumped up.
Towards less fear, basically,
Yes.
just to summarize that roughly.
Yeah.
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 And you know what I found the weirdest on my side in TradFi world? For the guys in, I should do this whole show like wearing a body warmer, a blue Patagonia one, just to brighten your day, sunshine. Um, TradFi chat guy here. This is the headline from the Wall Street Journal today. In a day of wild market moves, oil is a new haven. I could have expected a lot of headlines in the last 5 days, but not one that said oil is a new haven. I
Yeah.
thought oil would spike, gas prices would spike, and it would be insanity. But oil is a new haven for investors. And here's
Yeah.
the weird part. Today, European markets, the US isn't open yet as we're filming this. However, European markets and Asian markets are not down. They're up. Go figure.
It's confusing. It's confusing for everyone. It
Yeah,
really is.
because it looks like this war could drag on a while, right? And it doesn't look
Mhm.
like it will end anytime soon. So you would think the market would slip more, and they're not.
Yeah.
So I don't understand where this resilience in the markets is coming from,
Well,
both in
analysts
crypto and in.
did analysts did warn that if this war does continue, then sentiment on crypto might change very fast. And so that is something to note. But then again, not financial advice.
Everybody wants to hear about the hot token they should buy, right? Or the right moment to get back into Bitcoin. And if you can give that answer, basically they think, why are these losers having a podcast? Seriously, they look at me like,
But it's
you know.
funny because all of the successful investors, not a single one of them has been able to time the market. That's just not how you trade. You just take every opportunity. That's the best way to do it. That's the most successful way to trade is by taking every opportunity. So I know that
Yeah.
you might not like the answer, but the truth is it's probably the most logical one.
So in the markets, I just don't understand what's going on. But
Mhm.
the good thing is it hasn't crashed. I think that is a fair conclusion.
Definitely.
And crypto's up. Of
Which
course it is, damn
brings
it.
us to our trading competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we doing? Let me check.
Um, well, do you wanna start?
I never like it when you say, "Do you want to start?" Because usually it means that I'm getting my ass kicked.
No,
So
actually, it's me. 'Tis I who's getting their ass kicked.
it is I who is getting their asses kicked because she's using the majestatis pluralis, the plural, as
That's
only
correct.
royalty can use.
Yes.
Um, that's another story I'll tell you one day when I met the Queen and I refused to call her Your Majesty. And
Oh,
in emails before then, I met her and she was so nice that I felt like an idiot. And then I said, I apologize for not wanting to say Your Majesty. And she says, I had no idea you don't want to say it. I was like, yeah, well, I just put my foot in my mouth. Other than that, things are good, ma'am. And then I said, ma'am, instead of Your Majesty. Yes, I give you a lot of oil tips. I want to go with you over your Solana. I do want to talk about Solana, seriously.
okay.
Why? We bought we bought Solana at 120. You bought it at 124. I bought it at 124 because just to clarify, we started with $100 January 1st this year. I immediately started trading with $100. Niche forgot about it because she was drunk. And 2 weeks later, she realized before the first recording of this year, I have to fill my portfolio. And then she mimicked mine.
It was strategic.
Very strategic. You're very strategery in your decision
Yes,
making.
correct.
George Bush would say, very strategery. So, what the heck is going on with Solana that it's still down 27.5% this year? No
You
idea.
know, Ethereum is down 30%. So
It's like the Solana answer. Look at Ethereum. It's like you get caught like in school when you get caught, copying someone's answer. You go, no, I'm not just doing it. They're doing it too over there. There's like 4 of them doing it.
I'm like, "Trump, look at the Epstein files. Just
Look at the
kidding,
other
look at
guy.
Iran."
Yes.
I
True.
don't know what's going on.
You're right.
To be
Oh my
honest,
God. Ethereum down 30 yeah, 31% basically.
yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking at, again, things are moving. I'm just happy that even Solana has rebounded since the war started, because that touched $86, I believe. So the fact that it's back to 90, I'll take it. I do feel like like it,
So positive.
again, I'm very bullish on the entire Solana ecosystem. I see the way that they're building. It's just as the company becomes less relevant, money moves, and crypto people are extremely impatient.
Yeah. That's fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay. Then Ethereum, why did it drop more than Solana, do you think? I mean,
I think it's the same
different
same
story?
reason,
Same.
really. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Great.
my tracer is up 200 and almost 206%.
Yes.
Um, so that was nice, but since it's only $10 of my portfolio, I mean, it's still holding up the majority of it. At least I'm only 2% down. I was
I
like
love it
16.
in fact when you start yawning because I know you try to fight the yawn. And it's
So
just because
bad.
when you talk about a loss, like your body just reacts. You're like, I only put in, look at her go. This is
I need to
the
get it out of my
thumbnail I was looking for.
sorry.
Okay. So here's the difference. I sleep better when I'm in a hotel room because I don't have a dog jumping on my face at 7 a.m. That's the
I
reason.
I think it's just the stress that's not calming down, and so my body's going into, like, overdrive trying to
Of
catch up
course.
on quality sleep.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And plus when you're
But
stressed and you sleep in the same amount of hours, your body doesn't relax. That's what I learned from the whoop. I
I
had the
I
same.
I sleep when I'm stressed, so after any arguments with Anush, my partner, I will fall asleep mid-argument sometimes, and he gets really mad. I don't do it on purpose. It's just a stress response, is to just shut down and go to sleep. So excuse the yawns. It really is just a stress response for me.
Yeah, if I would look at your portfolio, I would get stressed as well. So I have had to do it.
I am
So
only down 2% now, which
So
is
mine, okay. So I have to be honest about it. So I put $18 in Tracer, but what we have to say is Tracer went and got listed on MEXC on December 9th, and then it had a huge jump, like a 300% spike, which often happens with tokens on a new large exchange, and then a huge drop later. So I was expecting it to normalize this year as people see their product development and stuff coming out, which has happened. So now it's trading at about 0.2 cents. And it's up, you're right, for the year, 205, more than 200%. So my $18 is now $55. So my whole portfolio of $128, almost half of it is Tracer, even though I only put $18 in it. The rest of my portfolio, and this is where I have to, eat dirt, everything's pretty much down. Bitcoin down 19, Ethereum 31, Solana 28. My Amazon stock, which was my hedge, down 8%. That really hurts me. And then my Dutch pride ASML, which was up like 25%, is now only up 16%. It really lost 1/3 of the growth. It's now up
wow.
17%
What
for the
happened?
year. And that's the whole thing. Here's exactly what you were just saying about crypto. Here's what I have in tech stocks. My Broadcom is down 10, Nvidia is down 5. So these are my three anchors, like in M4, Amazon, Nvidia, ASML, Broadcom. ASML is still up. The rest is just down heavily, hit hard. I don't understand, for example, why Broadcom is down 10 and why Nvidia is down 5, where I can guarantee, and I don't give financial advice, but I can guarantee you 99.9% sure they will have amazing stellar results in the first quarter just because of customer demand.
Yeah.
And it's not reflected at all in the stock price. I don't get it. I just don't. So here it goes. Two people that know nothing. That's what we have a podcast. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
But I got it and end with copper. And I on a high note, I did some hedge with copper because it's the foundational infrastructure for AI. So here's my copper against gold. My copper's up 3.4. Gold is up 23%.
I think I just want to end by saying that during these times, I know it's a bit difficult to stay focused, and you keep wanting to read the news and stuff. So yeah, there are a lot of agencies that are offering support, and just keep communicating with your loved ones because it really helps. So hope you guys are staying safe.
That's really sweet. I actually think what is a great thing to do is walk dogs. So I have again borrowed someone's dog, as I tend to do, the husky of my friend Mark, and he was kind enough to lend me his animal. Petting a dog is good. I don't know what endorphins are still because I don't understand biology, but it's good for you. And you pet dogs and you play with them, it's great. And it takes your mind off everything. So I really recommend walking dogs and walking out in nature if you can. Seriously. That's serious advice. I've been taking him to the beach 3 nights in a row. It was awesome. In the middle of the night, 11 p.m., to midnight. No one on the beach, dog just going nuts.
Forming a routine is gold in times like this,
Yeah, and getting outside, I think. Don't stay only inside. And don't watch the news the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does nothing for you. So.
Nothing.
All right, thanks. This was the NFA podcast.
Okay. See you next week.
Bye.
On this week's episode, we also talk about Anthropic rejecting the Penthouse's offer and OpenAI's ChatGPT.
The Penthouse's offer? The Penthouse offer.
Pentagon.
Anthropic CEO refused the offer by Penthouse to be their pet of the month.
Penthouse, the club in Dubai.
Okay.
Okay.